Jerry and Stephen Jones right now. Jerry ain't passed the mic yet. He is going in right now.
I'll be honest. I'm looking at Steve, and it's giving a little bit of Jason Kidd. Like, I don't really care to talk about this. Please, look, I know I got to sit here, but ask the guy who did this. Don't ask me. I'm here so I don't get fined.
It's definitely giving the like, dang, my life's been pretty good with him being my father. But dang, this one of the days I want to put him in a headlock. Like, I'm so tired of Pops. One of those days you're just tired of Pops where you're just like, come on, Pops. And also, you got to be a little bit of him being like, Dad, you ain't going to trust me to do the job fully? Like,
if there was a time.
If there was a time, dude, you're 82 years old, and, I ain't trying to operate with some ageism, but it's okay to just say, hey, son, here's the baton. Go on ahead. I'll be here. I'll consult. I'm here. I'm still the owner.
I'm the eldest boy.
Yeah, look, this is mine. Come on, Pops. But yet that's not the case, and here we are. So I don't know if he's taking questions right now or not, but Jerry's been going at it since this thing started about 15 minutes ago, and we'll get some sound for the guys at that in just a minute. But there's another side to that, and that is the other side is the Packers. Gave up a couple of first rounds picks, and that had been on the radar, Martin, for about a week or so. There's been reports that the Packers have been interested in getting Micah and his services. So, couple of reasons why this is interesting. One, the Packers don't like to pay a bunch of money to free agents.
Okay. Let's table that.
In comparison
I will
to
say,
other
okay,
teams.
because go ahead.
Yes, in comparison to other teams, they don't typically spend like other teams do. And, of course, historically, they've had a bunch of success. So you can obviously point. You can say, well, look, we do pretty doggone well doing things our way. So going to get him. Another thing that makes this interesting for the Packers is they're one of the youngest teams in the entire NFL, and then they get a guy who's only 26 and he's still, just really entering his prime, and it can be a remarkable force for them. So when you're the Packers, you're thinking you got your guy sold up. You got Jordan Love, by the way, signed to the same agent, and now you got these two guys on the same team. We'll talk about that a little bit later. You got to be feeling good, and you're in the division where some people say it's the Lions. Some people say, man, the Vikings are going to be right back where they were, even with JJ, because the defense is too good. All he has to do is manage it. Some people high on the Packers. Some even have the Bears being much, much better than they were last year. When you look at that division, to me, and this new signing of Micah, do I think it makes it difficult at times for the Lions? Yes. And that's the team I still feel who is the best in the division, even with the acquisition of Micah for the Packers. I think the Lions, yes, they lost some coordinators, big time. That's a big deal. I'm not going to belittle that. However, they didn't lose any core of that offense. They still got Laporta. They still got the running back combination that has been deadly for now a handful of years. They still got Williams, Jomo. They still got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's one of the best safety blankets in the entire NFL and can still score a bunch of touchdowns. And I think they also have a Jared Goff who was ticked off of how he performed in the postseason against a rookie in Jaden Daniels. So I still look at, and they had your head coach too, who creates the kind of the mantra, the vibe, the ethos of the team. So I still look at the Lions as the team to beat in that division. I understand J.J. McCarthy and I am not as high on J.J., even though from Ann Arbor, Michigan, not as high as other people are. So to me, the Lions, this is yours to lose. Do I think you go 15-2? No, you may go back a couple of games, 13 or 12 even, but I think it's their division. I think the Packers did what they're supposed to do in trying to secure it, and I also think what they did with this, Martin, was say, Jordan Love, we done gave you the bag. We done got arguably one of the best 1, 2, 3 defenders in the league. This is your run to do what your predecessors have done. Brett Favre got a ring, went to a couple Super Bowls. Aaron Rodgers, a couple Super Bowls, got one. This your run. We got you the money early. We got a guy on your you call it like a record label. He's on your same agent. We've got some young talent around you who hopefully should be growing and getting better. This is the runway. Let's go. And I think they say now you're in your runway that we've done with Aaron Rodgers, we did with Brett Favre. You're up.
I think that this is definitely a bet on, obviously, a big bet on Jordan Love, which the biggest bet of Jordan Love was giving him all that money. As you said, both of these players repped by David Mulugheta. So, obviously, when you have a relationship with an agent, Dallas, Jerry, I know you're talking right now, but when you get off, if you catch the podcast, when you have a relationship with an agent, it's easier to get deals done. It's football GMing 101. I know you've been there longer, Jerry, but sometimes fresh eyes can help see a scenario. But for me, I had real questions about to me, every team in the NFC North has major questions. And it was the best division in the NFC last year when you look at the top of the teams, and then even Green Bay, when I've only won one game in division, but everybody would talk about them as a pretty good team. And then Chicago, obviously dumpster fire last year in terms of coaching and everything else, but promising young rookie in Caleb Williams, and you got a head coach in Ben Johnson who a lot of people are very, very high on. So reasons for optimism in Chicago, although they would be like, if you're just looking at the record, be like, why is everybody so high on the Bears? The Lions losing both their coordinators, to me, this is the most important offseason in Lions history. This has also been the most prolonged success the Lions have had in 30 years, right? And this is the first real time where you are paying the price for success. So which kind of head coach is Dan Campbell is the answer we are going to get this season. Because to me, one of the things that completely is underrated in Kyle Shanahan's career is his ability to both hire and fire coordinators. Every single year, when they were really on their hot streak, really on their run, he was losing passing game coordinators, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. And it didn't matter because Shanahan was continued to hire people, and he kept hitting it out of the park. And the one time that they made the mistake at defensive coordinator, they lost in the Super Bowl in overtime. Okay? Now, has it resulted in the Super Bowl? No, but there's a lot of teams. Jerry Jones right now would trade a whole lot to have the success the 49ers have had in the postseason over the last 5 years compared to what he has. Are you the 49ers or are you the Eagles? The Eagles lost both. They went to the Super Bowl, and everybody says Jalen Hurts had a great game in that game. He did have a fumble 6 in a game that they lost by a touchdown, right? But they were still in the Super Bowl, a team that had a Super Bowl level type of roster. They lose both their coordinators, fall off a cliff second half of the season, 1-9, get dog walked in the playoffs, losing the wild card to Tampa, and then all of a sudden, boom, make the right hires again in the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, right? Now, the 49ers had some injury discrepancies there, too. Lions should have everybody back. What type of coach is Dan Campbell? That's the answer that we get right here, because I agree, 15 wins, I don't need to see that. But I need to see a team that is still atop of the NFC North, because this roster, to me, is the best in the NFC North. Minnesota, too many questions at quarterback. I went to Michigan. I was clapping and standing on the table when they ran the ball for the 27th straight time against Penn State. I was just so excited. Because that's just the kind of football, that I love to watch. But also, I thought J.J. McCarthy put the ball at risk. I know he didn't throw a lot of interceptions. Watch the Rose Bowl. Caleb down Shua inch shorter, that's a pick. Marcus May, that's a pick, right?
He would just overthrow easy pass. He wasn't we're jumping up to 10th to get that guy. I think that's what was shocking for me. I think, speaking for you too, where nobody's saying he can't be a late first round. All he did was win. But to jump up to 10th was like, wait, did I miss something? Because I swear I thought I saw just about every pass in his career. Did I miss something? So we're going to find out who he is.
But one of the most interesting to me sliding door moments in the sliding door moments where if one thing went a little differently, the whole league would have been in a different spot. Aaron Jones ran for like 150-something in that wild card game when Green Bay remember, they were the first, I believe, 7th seed, the first extra wild card team to win a playoff game. They go into Jerry's World, they beat Dallas, and Aaron Jones runs all over them. The Packers let Aaron Jones walk to Minnesota, make Jordan Love at that point the highest paid quarterback in football, and Micah Parsons was on that roster for Dallas and got crushed for being, quote-unquote, invisible in that postseason game. Now, Dak played terribly as well. Jerry Jones today just said one of the things that we needed to shore up was we need to be able to stop the run. And I know he's thinking about that game in this moment. And if you, in fact, if you're Jerry Jones and you, in fact, think that Micah Parsons is not worth this money, not worth this type of deal because even there's a discrepancy in what he was offered compared to what
he ultimately wanted. He and his agent.
So there was a big gap of about $5 million there, which is pretty significant. But again, if there had been like maybe just regular negotiations here, we probably could have found a middle ground because Micah was incentivized to stay in Dallas. He said he wanted to stay. Jerry, I can't imagine. Jerry's not thinking about those playoff games, thinking about how Micah Parsons wasn't quite there. And if he thinks that this is a massive overpay, then good job by you because the Lions are going to be really good in this division. The Vikings have a great roster, and if they hit on this quarterback and Kevin O'Connell, depending on how you listen to him say, oh, I love the quarterback. You look at the offseason moves, he was on the phone with every other quarterback, it seemed. So we'll see how it actually plays out. And then you have the Packers, then you have the Bears, rather, who just hired Ben Johnson, and they expect to have a lot of success. This might be a team that gets beat up in the division regardless of what they did.
Well, they're going to get beat up regardless to me. I've already told Rob G that I think the Commanders are going to be right about the same. Like I said,
I'm saying the Packers might be a team that get beat up in their division if the way the NFC North plays out. You might have got some pretty high first-round picks here just in general. And, and I'm not saying I don't think they're going to have a terrible year, but I picked the Packers to be third in the North, probably still third in the North.
They're 9-11 games to me, somewhere around there, between 9 and 11. The thing that I think also helped Jerry sleep at night tonight is that he can say, well, look at the other guys who've gotten paid in that same type of position. TJ Watt. Well, TJ, what have you done for me lately?
Oh, I know that's coming today.
They haven't done anything in the postseason with TJ Watt. They haven't won a game. 9 years. Myles Garrett got all the money, hasn't really done anything. I know they got one with Joe Flacco, but point is it's not their perennial defense isn't great. They're always in the postseason. So I think that's one thing that Jerry Jones, when he hits that melatonin tonight and he sleeps good, he's going to be able to say, man, I know he's good, I know he's great, but one defensive end, outside linebacker doesn't change the game like this. He ain't Lawrence Taylor.
Max Crosby, another guy.
Max Crosby, spectacular. Everybody wanted him to get traded last season. Come to the Lions, because they were hurt without Hutchinson. So I think that is something he can sell himself and say, great as these guys are, they're not making that much of a difference. And those types of guys really only make a difference when they become kind of the hitman for hire. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on, just some teams that maybe could have jumped in there as well. So let's take a few phone calls. Want to hear from you about this trade, 877-99 on Fox. Let's go to two cities. Let's go to Orlando, who's in El Paso. Orlando, you're on with the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, guys. It's heartbreaking, guys. Jerry Jones, at 82 years old, was found alive and well in his home today. My goodness. It's getting bad, man.
That's pretty good.
Getting bad.
Yeah.
It's just getting bad.
So what about this to you, Orlando? I don't know, Mavericks fan as well, but obviously Cowboys fan. What's the worst part about this to you?
I think when you break it down, it's failing to get the Micah deal done. It's about pride and ego for Jerry. They're destroying the current team because this is going to affect the morale of the team. Mm-hmm. And then they send them to the team that literally run roughshod over you back in that playoff game. Mm-hmm. I think people don't remember that.
No, we make sure we tell them. Rob and I, we make sure we tell them that beat down right there. They definitely hear that from us. Orlando, thank you for the call, brother. Appreciate it. Let's go to New Jersey. Let's go to Drew in New Jersey. Drew, you're on with the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, guys, I love the trade. I think that they can finally get out of the above playing out of your draft position quarterback. Because if you look at it, Tony Romo was undrafted. He ended up being a top 12 quarterback in the league when he played. Same thing with Dak. But I think the reason why he has not won a Super Bowl is he doesn't have a Mahomes. He doesn't have a Josh Allen. I think this gives you capital to get like a Lenore Sellers at South Carolina or go trade that pick, move down a couple of years, get Bryce Underwood in Michigan. I think they'd be better set it up. And I feel like it's low-hanging fruit to go after Jerry Jones. I think let's look at the Bengals owner. I mean, I think he uses coupons to play his players.
Well, let me real quick, Martin. The reason why I hear what you're saying about Jerry, but the reason I'm going after Jerry is because you've been selling me for 30 years. The most important thing is winning. And that's the point. And I'm saying now everything you just mentioned, Drew, thank you for the call, is futuristically speaking. You just mentioned Underwood at Michigan. He's a true freshman.
Right.
So okay, couple years down the line. And my point is Jerry wants to win while Jerry's still with us and Jerry's still able to enjoy it. And you just set yourself back a couple of years to me. That's why I'm blaming Jerry.
But if I may, to the caller's point, I think his point is Jerry's not afraid to cut a check. Right, Jerry was not afraid to cut that check for Dak. He was not afraid to cut that check for CeeDee Lamb because if he was, he wouldn't have. Mm-hmm. We see today Jerry Jones is not a man who's going to do something he clearly doesn't want to do. Right, he was good enough to make those deals instead. I think he even admitted afterwards in the aftermath post game or post contract signing of Dak Prescott, saying Dak kind of got me on that one. You got me a little bit on that one, but Jerry, pardon the pun, enjoys the art of the deal. Right, and the thing that I agree, like Mike Brown's was never going to pay Trey Hendrickson for 2026. It was never going to happen. Mm-hmm. He's not, because just fundamentally not paying a 31-year-old. I don't think Jerry has that same hard and fast rule, which to me finds it the most fascinating because I think this deal could have gotten done for so much less than it actually did.
But that's the crazy part.
Right. But I think to Jerry and to quote,
or you trade 2 years ago when his team came to him and said, "Hey man, we might want to trade Micah now, get what we can for him," and he said no. So you didn't want to trade from him then. You didn't want to sign him. You might have been able to set the market if you signed him first before Myles Garrett, before T.J. Watt. Like there was too many variables and too many options for this to be where you are. Or you trade him right before the draft, get some guys now that can maybe help you this season.
And Micah said as much. He said, I went to them, and they said it wasn't my turn. I went to them again, and they said it wasn't my turn because he was trying to take this quote-unquote team-friendly, cap-friendly deal, which would have been top of the market at the time. But, again, it's top of the market now. But, as soon as you buy your house, the house next door price goes up, right? So all of these prices of the brick was just going up. But to Jerry's point, and to the caller's point, you can't be mad at Jerry today if you didn't think that you should have paid Micah Parsons. If you thought you should have traded Micah Parsons last year, last year was last year. And it may have been the wrong decision. But if it's a lie, we fight on that lie. And these are the chips we have today. And if you gambling, you can't think about what you had 20 minutes ago because you ain't got it no more.
So them some off-brand chips. If that's the chips we have, you ain't dealing with no Frito-Lays. These ain't no Doritos. Them chips is off-brand, I'm telling you. We'll do one more real quick. Kevin in Culver City. Kevin, you're on with the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
God is good.
All the time.
Ross probably at Foodland, the supermarket in Maui, probably performing at Life's a Beach, doing his Belichick song.
You think they got a comedy club out there? He's doing his little stand-up out there, too.
Yeah, I know. That's my second home.
Yeah.
That's
okay. All right.
Look. You're actually talking to an exclusive Packers owner. I'm a Packers owner.
Congratulations on the trade.
Nice, congrats.
So we made a big trade today. Look, here's what the Packers are getting. I got my little, my one share, but here's what we're getting. We're getting inferior defensive end edge rusher in the game right now. And when the Packers do that, they win Super Bowls. Reggie White, Brett Favre, Clay Matthews, Aaron Rodgers. Micah Parsons, Jordan Love. The Packers, we believe in Jordan Love. This is why this trade was made. I think Matthew Golden, I heard he's tearing up camp. The Packers think this is a legit shot to win the Super Bowl with Josh Jacobs at running back, too. The defense is short up now with Micah. They're going for it. This is a Super Bowl run. So,
now,
got aggressive.
That is absolute fact because that's a team that right now, after Kevin, thanks for the call, I agree with you 1,000%. You want to talk about America's gambler, and Mike Silver just wrote this in the New York Times. Check him out as well. The Packers, essentially, they put all the chips in the middle of the table because they now have Jordan Love being paid as much as he is, Micah Parsons being paid as much as he is, and they don't have any more 2 first-round picks gone. They're the ones who pushed all their chips into the middle of the table, and we'll see how it plays out for them.
We will. More on this in just a minute. Right now, it is Monty Bolaños going to get you updated right now what's trending. Hey, Monty.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. We're trying to get sound of Jerry Jones coming in right now because of the press conference happening live, so it's coming in as we speak.
Jerry's
He's a
long-winded.
little.
You ain't lying. Steven was that a wax figure?
Oh, he did not stop. I'm pretty sure he got asked one question and talked for 10 minutes. And then but he did not stop talking. Here's a little on what he said when it came to do with the picks that they're about to get.
Gives us 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years. We not only do that, nothing says we can't use some of those picks right now to go get somebody right now. Don't rule that out.
Don't rule that out.
I ain't ruling it out. Just don't tell me. Just do it.
Well, you know,
he's like a teenager on social media. You know they got to tell you every move. They got to tell you every move, Martin. Just don't tell me. Just go do it.
He likes to paint a picture for you. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
he's writing a script for us.
He ain't my man who had the afro was painting. What's his name again?
Bob Ross.
He ain't Bob Ross, dang it. Go ahead.
This is not a happy little accident here.
Do we have anything new from Jerry? We do? All right, let's hear a little bit what Jerry had to say. This is about Micah, and was it personal or not?
I really like Micah. I appreciate the 4 years that we've had him here, and he's a great player. And so we are very appreciative of the fact that he's a great player. There's no question that I could have signed him in April. And so we all know that to have agreements, all parties have to agree. But this was by design. I did make Micah an offer. It wasn't acceptable, and I honor the fact that it wasn't done in the way that he wanted to do it through an agent. So he was made an offer. There's not an ounce of vindictiveness. There's no bad feelings on my part about the fact that we didn't come together on an agreement.
I actually believe that it isn't personal. I think when you've been doing business now as he has for, 50, 55 years, whatever it may be, I absolutely think he can look at the person, understand when we're going to war negotiating. I might say something a little reckless. You might say something a little reckless, but that's just part of the game. I think he actually enjoys it. I think he enjoys kind of the back and forth and the jousting and what it takes to get a deal done. You mentioned, Donald Trump, art of a deal. But I think he just enjoys it.
He didn't trademark. He's titled his book.
I know. And he makes sure we know about it once every quarter. I wrote this book, The Art of a Deal. Bible or the best book ever? It's the Bible. Well, the Bible is second to Art of a Deal. That was one of my favorite lines. So I'd say I think Jerry absolutely. I think if he were on the phone with Mike in a week, I absolutely believe he would be like, "Yo, man, ain't nothing personal. Yo, you in Dallas, come stop by the crib. We'd love to have you for dinner." Like, I think he just understands. He's been doing this too long. This is a part of it. It is what it is, and I hate to see him go, but I got to do what I have to do. What he believes is best for the Cowboys at this time, today, at this moment, and that's what he did. I do not think it's personal for him, and I think that's just a part of what he's been able to. When you're in the game so long and you've made so many deals, and good or bad, your favorite guy, not your favorite guy, you get used to this. And the idea that he might be able to use something with these first-round picks is a real thing. I mean, again, why wait much longer if you're Jerry? Because Jerry's getting up there in age. He's 82 years old. I don't want to wait 2, 3, 4 more years. So maybe he will be able to use these picks and come up with a guy or two defensively that can get right back there and help him, because that's going to be the issue, man. You can't rely on that offense. The offense is not that spectacular. You're going to have some defense again, and they're nowhere near as explosive as the Bengals, and the Bengals have struggled the last couple of years with the bad defense.
Well, I think Jerry's point is kind of the one we've heard from Jay-Z. He said, people saying they made Hove. Okay, make another Hove. I drafted Micah Parsons. I'm the one that scouted. Like, all these other players got drafted ahead of him, got paid. All those teams passed on Micah Parsons. I'm the one that found him. I'll find another. Sure, it's not personal between he and Micah Parsons, whatever. But I think it is personal between he and David Mulugeta. And I think I am just a gas bag on the radio. I'm not in Dallas. I'm not reporting this. But if you go back and just pay a little bit of attention to the Pablo Torre reporting about what happened with the NFLPA and Lamar Jackson's guaranteed contract or lack thereof, it all stems back to one deal. Deshaun Watson getting the most guaranteed money ever. Who is his agent? David Mulugeta. David Mulugeta operated with that deal. Jerry Jones is old school NFL, and I'm not speculating this. It's been reported that Michael Bidwell and Steve Bisciotti were sitting texting back and forth saying, what in the hell is going on here? They're paying Deshaun Watson fully guaranteed money. What does that mean for my guy and my guy? And you know what it meant for Jerry's guy? It meant that Jerry had to cut a $60 million some odd check for Dak Prescott with the no trade clause. That contract would not necessarily have been that prohibitive if Deshaun Watson didn't get his. The idea that Jerry's one of the founding pillars of the, I was like, not founding, but at this point, pillars of the league, could not have felt good about the fact that now, if y'all, because the argument for fully guaranteed has always been there. It's always been there. And the thing about David Mulugheta, he's the guy that gets these headlines. Watson, most guaranteed money ever. Jordan Love tied Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence with biggest signing bonus and is up there in average annual value. He reset the cornerback market. David Mulugheta reset the cornerback market 3 times in one offseason. Twice in one offseason, but he got Jalen Ramsey, $24 million. J.C. Horn, $25 million. Derek Stingley, $30 million, all average annual value. Every time this guy makes a deal, it is one of those, and this guy is the highest paid this or the highest paid that. He gets the deal done. But when you look at these teams, look at the teams that he's gotten these deals done since Deshaun Watson's Green Bay, twice. You know what Green Bay doesn't have? A traditional owner, right? Cleveland, Jimmy Haslam, who has been desperate, fawning over a quarterback so badly that right now the reports are, depending on how you feel about Shedeur Sanders, he went back in there and said, no, take a 5th-round quarterback too, right? And then is answering questions about Arch Manning, right? Literally the most desperate can be. Houston had an ownership changeover. The old Bob McNair passed away, ownership changeover. Carolina, J.C. Horn. Jerry Richardson sold the team. David Tepper, new owner, and then Kelvin really, some of the. But those are the big deals. When you look at those big deals, you know who they're not done with is guys are, let's just say, ownership groups that have been in play for longer than like 5-10 years.
Well, you're not making those moves against guys who feel like you're not going to come in here and outdeal me. You're not going to make me out here to be the small guy in this. And you keep saying his name, but I'm calling him Mulugheta. Because he's getting all the moolah for all these guys. I mean, that's what he's doing, and that's what a great agent does, which is why I kept telling Micah earlier, stop talking about, man, I want to play, I don't care about money. You can feel that way. Call me. If I'm David Mulugheta, call me 2 a.m. Wake the phone and just whisper sweet nothings to me. Don't tell that to the public. Because I can get you the money, and I can keep you in Dallas. Ultimately, it didn't work, but that would be what an agent is supposed to be doing. So David Mulugheta is doing what he's supposed to do, similar to you look at like Scott Boras in the MLB, right? That's the guy you go to. You know you're about to get paid. We had him on the show, Rob and I, a few months back. He kind of explained in the way in which he does it. And it's just, you're just blown away with the way he's like, no, the way, now put it up here, and we tell the players and we show them the numbers, and we go to the teams and say, if you look at the average of the 10 years, it's a math, it's a science. That's why you sign him. So you say, I'm going to be paid because I've gotten this guy. And David Mulugheta has become that for the league as well. Go ahead.
Just real quick. Say, ultimately, Mulugheta's whole thing was, Micah Parsons came out with that big, long notes app, and you never go full notes app. It said, I want to play. I'm paraphrasing. But I wanted to be in Dallas. And he went through the agent every single time. And Jerry said, we had an agreement, but all parties have to agree. And then he said, we couldn't get it done the way he wanted to do it. Jerry, this is what the NFL CBA says. You have to do it like this. This is the way that Jerry Jones has done every other deal that he has ever done. You have got to get an agent to sign off on this at every step of the way. The idea that Jerry is acting like this was some one-off or shooting star type scenario is laughable. That's ridiculous. And to me, that's the through line is the entirety of this time. Jerry Sutter offered him a deal. Micah Sutter wanted to be a Cowboy. The issue, Jerry didn't want to negotiate with this guy, and I think the question that we should be asking once we talk about what's this mean for the Cowboys, what's this mean for the Packers, is why? Why didn't Jerry want to negotiate with him?
Because he doesn't want someone bigger than these owners. He doesn't want somebody that is bigger than your Dagner up there with the commission, if you will. And an agent can get like that, where anything I want is going to happen. Like the Midas touch. Anything I touch is going to turn to gold, or in this case, straight cash, homie.